My name is Mike Andes. I'm the founder of Augusta Lawn Care, where we have over 150 locations around the world. But we travel around the country, turning around small businesses just like this one. Today, we're in Arizona to turn around this $1.2 million landscaping business. The last thing you want a salesperson to be hearing is negativity. They've had as little as $11,000 in the bank,
There's always a couple of pretty large invoices outstanding.
with over $170,000 in accounts receivable. They have 22 employees, and the business owner is working 7 days a week.
And what happened to that one? Somebody
No
fall?
idea what happened with that one.
Let's see if we can turn this thing around.
Hey.
Morning, Paul.
How are you? It's good to meet you.
How you been?
I've been pretty good. We've been coming to this place for years, and we love this place. And this is the place we eventually wanted to go. So we had a 5-year plan to come here. And when COVID hit, my job as a outside sales guy kind of, it didn't dry up, but it just became real boring. And so we kind of accelerated our plan to be here. And when I got here, Dave Grondin, who had the business before me, was selling it. And we talked, and I ended up buying it. Over the past couple of years, my Google rating's gone from 1.8 to 4.4.
I heard because you
4.5.
acquired it originally and it was kind of a mess.
Yeah, it kind of was a mess.
God,
Yeah.
what year was that?
2020.
Oh wow. Oh, so it's been like less than 5 years.
Yeah, less than
Wow.
5 years. Yeah. The guy who owned it before had owned it since '79. He started the company in '79, so
Okay.
he had it for a long time.
Yeah.
And this place wasn't near as big as it was, so he had good word of mouth and everything. I mean, this is a small town place
Right.
and everything like that. But his focus was on construction. He really liked doing the construction stuff, and he's very, very good at it.
Yeah.
I needed cash flow when I first took over the business, and
Yeah.
I needed to build up the maintenance side to have that monthly income coming in. I mean, that's just what had to happen. And no, not to badmouth him or anything like that, but I mean, he just had a different sort of focus on
Yeah.
it and everything. So,
Well, he's been in business for 30, almost 40 years.
42 years.
I want to keep increasing our maintenance type of thing. I mean, we've been steadily growing the maintenance thing. Like I said, from that $35,000 a month to now $75,000 a month and everything like that. I would like to keep going and get that up to $100,000 a month. The only way I'm going to do that is HOAs. If I tried to do that residentially, man, I couldn't fill we're filled in the parking lot as it is right now. I wouldn't have enough space to put the people. My goal has always been to add 2 HOAs a year, and that's usually adding a truck. We went and bought crew cabs last year or whatever, so we could, instead of adding trucks, because that used to be the thing too. I would add a truck and then everything would kind of fall apart. So instead of adding the truck, now I just try to stuff more people in the truck. We do a clown car kind of. If I could get 3 decent commercial jobs a year, that would really be what I am. And my goal from the very beginning was that the maintenance side was going to be the foundation of the company. They were going to pay the bills, they were going to pay the overhead, they were going to pay the salaries and everything like that, and that the profit was going to come from the construction side.
Like I said, to me at the time, the maintenance was that he was doing was more like, like when the people that build pools, they always provide a maintenance package after, right? And it's more, they don't really like doing it, they hate doing it probably, but they feel like they have to do it so they keep their customers. And that was kind of the way I saw what was going on here. Dave would do a construction project like the Verizon or something like that, and then he'd get the maintenance for it when the construction project was done. And we've done that too, but I was in need of cash.
So say we get a couple more commercial projects, we get more maintenance. Is that going to increase the head count, or do you think you're going to be raising prices to achieve that? Because I'm concerned that we have 22 people already.
Yeah.
And let's say we're trying to get to 1.6, 1.7, which I see a lot of times like a wilderness of profitability between 800,000 and 1.5 in terms of just, you usually need that second overhead person, an operations manager or a salesperson.
Yeah.
And so to get there, are we going to have to hire more people or raise prices? Because my concern is you're still juggling all the balls and we have 30 people in the crew and now it becomes unsustainable.
So,
You're good.
what's up? Is the battery dead? You don't know, you haven't seen any jumper cables around, have you? Let me see if I can find some.
That's a lot. Like I know even at 15, like most of my general managers will start to break down.
There's my grease gun.
Nice. In terms of just like the amount of volume of just every day, it's just stuff happening.
Yeah. Well, it keeps you up during the day, keeps you awake, and it keeps you up at night.
Yeah.
If I could concentrate on the sales part of the thing and on the company promotion and the sales and everything like that, I really feel that's where, I'm best suited. That's where my background has been in before and everything like that. And what happened to that one? Somebody
No
fall?
idea what happened with that one.
Somebody fall? Because I know
Hey, Jordan.
I just can't. It's hard to do both. you know. So, and it's hard to find somebody. I'm not sure that just somebody who's a crew leader fits into that role.
You got 3 working well? That's good.
Yeah, because I rebuilt 3 of them this weekend. My feeling is this 1.2, we're right at that absorption level, right? And we're absorbing our costs well, and we're doing okay. If we can just get past, that's when the profit starts coming in, and we can start doing a little bit more with what we do. I think the construction side may be a little over right now, to be honest. We had the 3 projects we were running at the same time, so I went ahead and got the extra people that I need, and they're good people. I don't want to let them go.
Right.
I'm afraid if I let them go, I won't be able to find them if I need them again, type of thing, right? So
the business is struggling to make profit because the project income is up and down and extremely unreliable. Now, I understand Paul's inclination to not want to let go of any of his team, the crews that are working on the construction side of the business. But I do believe there's an emotional connection that is starting to form between Paul and the construction side of the business. And I'm all for enjoying the services that we perform for our customers and loving the work that we do and loving the people that installs those projects. But ultimately, if the business isn't going to be successful and if it doesn't make money, we've got to make these hard decisions. Now, on the other hand, when I look at the maintenance side of the business, it's been growing very quickly and customers are accepting these bids like crazy. So why not focus more of our attention on that side of the company? What's usually your close ratio? Like if you use that as a general average, are you closing pretty much most that comes in?
on the maintenance side, we close everything that comes in, pretty much. But on the construction side, I would say we're about 60% close. You know, there are some that we lose. And then, you know, we also, because, I mean, I actually got this place, I was kind of lucky the timing was right? Because this place exploded during and after COVID.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Everybody was coming here because, I mean, Arizona's kind of lax on the face masking and everything like that to begin with. And then, so you had people from California and stuff like that moving here, but you also had a lot of people from Phoenix and stuff moving up here too. Yeah. This place just blew.
Yeah, I think, you know, the people up here are starting to get a little under pressure because of the population growth. Home prices haven't dipped here at all. And we have a couple rental properties, and if we've gone 2 weeks, you know, once somebody decides to leave or go somewhere else or something like that, I mean, if we've spent, 2 weeks, Reed? Between, you know, we'll have a list of 7 other people that want to move in. So, and I've hired people that were literally living in tents out in the desert because they couldn't find a place to live.
And that continues still. So you'll drive around, you'll see lots of construction, housing construction and stuff like that go on. But as far as the commercial stuff, I mean, we just got the Burger King in town. We're doing a Blue Ocean thing up in Flagstaff. We're pretty much at capacity, right?
We are. In March, we'll need 2 more people because all the accounts.
Home Depot's kicked back in and things like that.
I need to meet you. Come on.
Yeah.
What was your name?
Ree.
Ree? Good to meet you. Absolutely.
Yes.
So you handle all the admin side then, like phone calls and as well as all the maintenance. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And payroll and that part of it.
We talked about it. That I realized that we had people coming and going and everything like that. I really wanted to keep them. Man, you're going to have to offer $18, $19, $20 an hour to do that. And that was higher than what a lot of people were offering out there. And so we raised up to the 40, because we were at 35 when I first started. Now we're up at 45. And
but we're still closing 100% almost to maintenance.
yeah, in this area.
Definitely.
Now, Paul keeps mentioning hiring more people and extending the amount of work that the company can do for customers. But ultimately, when their prices are this low, they need to raise prices and make profit. And I know, without even looking deep into the numbers, that there's a huge amount of profit that could be had by just raising the price. If you look at all your potential customers, they're gonna have different levels of perceived value with your services. Some are gonna think it's basically worthless, and others are gonna think it's worth a lot. Now, when you set your price, anyone that doesn't have the perceived value high enough, you will not get them to accept the job. Now, everyone above that line will accept the job because value is higher than price. Now, when I raise prices, yes, I will lose some customers because they do not perceive the value to be higher than the new price. But also, I will gain all the extra profit that's associated with everyone else that had a huge amount of value discrepancy between what I was charging. So in essence, you're gonna do less work and make more money. Sounds like a good deal to me. If 90% of close, this is 90% of people are accepting, like we can move that price and that's like an instant fix for the business. Because like if we raise prices on $70,000 and we raise it by 10%, that's $7,000. There's your operations manager.
Yeah.
right? And that's what I'm looking at as like the unlock to the next stage of growth is you focusing on sales, having an operations person that the 8-10 fires that happen throughout the day goes to them, the angry customers go to them. Because like the last thing you want a salesperson to be hearing is negativity.
We have to grow a little bit more, I think. You know, I want to be a company. I don't want to be a family-owned business type of thing. You know, I want to be a company, and it's a point of pride to be able to succeed at something like that. And I feel like we're at that thing that if we could just get past the hump, you know, this one little hump or whatever, that this thing would, you know, would be exactly what I thought it could be.
Like I know the amount of work that goes in this location because it's the exact same size as mine was before I implemented pay for performance.
Okay.
And I know like the amount of like work and effort and all the fires every morning, like it kills me to see that much at the bottom line and the amount of effort that goes into it.
You know, we didn't come out here from New York working 15-hour days, 7 days a week to come here and work 14-hour days.
Right.
7 days a week.
The margins are super, super tight on just about everything. And what you're seeing too, on the maintenance side, like I said, we do pretty well. The construction side tends to take away from it over the year because of the way the pay thing works, right? I mean, you know, that I can't invoice until this period, and you know, I would spend a lot of money on the materials and everything like that up ahead of time.
Is there a couple of like very large invoices outstanding?
Oh yeah. There's always a couple of pretty large
Yeah.
invoices outstanding. The whole Chipotle project was outstanding. We finished Chipotle in September or whatever, and so they just finally paid off, and that was 60 grand right there.
Wow.
So again, that's why I pushed really, really hard to increase the maintenance side.
I mean, I think the maintenance part this year, the maintenance side, has really taken us to the next level. I mean, we've done really well employee-wise, account-wise. We've put on a bunch of accounts this year, HOAs and stuff.
And you don't have outstanding massive bills because people pay every month.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Do you think moving more towards maintenance and like letting go of the projects?
That's what he's been talking about.
We've been really discussing that, right? Because right now, if you looked at the P&L, the maintenance side would show that we're profiting 200 grand a year, right? And it's the other side that's taking it down. We've probably lost 80.
Yeah. So why don't we cut it?
I love my people, and I'd have to let some of them go if we did that, right? And you know, Bobby's been here 5-6 years, you know, Junior and them. I love working with those guys. I do like the project stuff. I like being able to go and see what it looked like before and after and everything like that. I understand though, that, I mean, and we've been talking about it for the last couple of years, that man, you know, can we be just a maintenance company?
We've got a really, really good crew, you know, and we consider these people part of our family and everything, and we just want to be able to provide, you know, like anybody does. You know, you want to be able to provide for your family. You want to be able to give them a better life than you had, type of thing, right? So that's what we're about now. We just want to grow the business so we can all make, you know, more money and be comfortable in what we do. You know, everybody knows that landscape's cyclical. You know, it can go up and down and everything like that. But these people are really committed to it, and you know, we want to pay back that commitment by being able to, you know, make their lives more comfortable if we can.
What if you brought your team together and said, hey, like, just being honest, like, they know how hard you work. Like, they do understand that. And I think you'd actually get a lot of respect from them by saying, it's not sustainable for me to do this anymore. And like, the business doesn't make a lot of money on the project side, but I want to keep you all busy. And I'm not going to cut the business. I'm not going to be like, all right, tomorrow, no projects.
Yeah.
But we are going to start moving the focus of the business towards maintenance to ensure that if there are times when there's not projects, I have work for you.
Yes.
And then it's a matter of like, we don't go chasing big projects. We have a little higher prices to make sure we actually make some money on them, which means we'll have less of them close.
Yeah.
But then that will give you more time to focus on the maintenance side. My concern is that the recipe to growth is 4 or 5 more big projects. And that to me is like more accounts receivable. It is more of your time on the project side. It's our lower margin service. If all of that time and energy was just focused on, okay, can we reach out to property management companies locally? Can we reach out to like do these more recurring stuff? Like, I think even upselling our residential customers, like, can we sell them a different service that isn't hourly, that is something else? Projects, we are getting massive accounts receivable. It's causing cash swings.
Yeah.
It's taking all of our time.
Yep.
We aren't making money on it. Maintenance, we have increased by 50%. or no, we've more
Yeah.
than doubled
Yeah.
the maintenance over the past few years. We're profitable on it, even at what I consider a very low cost price, but somehow like that's the profitable side of the business.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't require, but probably what, 20% of your time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's probably true.
I think it's becoming clear that the business needs to focus less on the project side of the business and more on the maintenance side of the company that actually produces the profits. And I understand Paul doesn't want to let go the crew members that have been with him for a long time on the construction side, but it's not making money. And this side is the maintenance side. And it's not easy switching from one-time jobs to recurring revenue. One-time jobs, I might get 10, 15, $20,000 on one job. Whereas for maintenance, I might make $100 or $200. But over here, the recurring revenue is much more stable. It's not as up and down. And better yet, we don't have $170,000 of overdue invoices from these massive projects.
There would be 6 people right now that I would be like, man, what do I do with them?
Right. But what if we raise the prices on our projects and then we basically told them this is what's happening. We're going to be increasing the maintenance side because if we need 2 people come March, I feel like that's a perfect time to start making the transition, knowing that if we don't get the project sold at the higher rate, we now can move a couple people over to the maintenance because we need them in March.
Switching from this revenue model that gets a bunch of revenue up front to more of a recurring business model is difficult, but it can be done over the course of time without tearing the Band-Aid off immediately.
I think being honest with the crew, and no one's losing their job. I will do whatever it takes. If I have to go do pavers at my house, no one's losing their job.
Yeah.
But we need to move the business in this direction because it's more sustainable, and like everything can't depend on me being here 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yep.
You know, the construction business has been here for 40-something years. I think that's his baby, even though, psychologically, he sees the right way to go, and we've talked about it to the maintenance. I think that's his part of the company. Right. Is it a failure by letting it go? I mean, I'm an outsider, let's say, looking in right now. That this company's been here for so long, the construction. I think he also does like that. I think he likes the big projects, not so much the backyard, but definitely the big projects. But I think, he's a very logical, sensible person when it comes to the business that sees that, and he's been talking about it probably within, 2 years?
At least 2 years.
That this is really the way to go.
I think we just take away the projects that are causing pain in the head right now on the project side, which it sounds like to me, backyards, no one likes. So why don't we nix that and instead say, we do commercial maintenance and we crush Brightview. And on that brochure, it's like Brightview versus us. Here's what they do and here's what we do.
Bingo.
List.
That's what I would love to have. I mean, and I told Zach. I mean, that was the first thing I think I told him.
I saw it. That was number 1 on the list.
Yeah,
There's like 3 major keys. It's like kill Brightview. Okay, great. 2, take care of the people, and 3, like you're extremely involved in the community, and that's what you love.
Yeah, because I just think that the place, this area is very unique, right?
Yeah.
You can't grow the stuff in Phoenix, everything. It's unique,
Yeah.
and so having somebody, a national company, come in,
Yeah.
I don't think they serve the people right. Again, and I think also that if somebody's unhappy with the service with Brightview, who are they calling? They're calling some guy in Phoenix, or they're calling, whatever they may be, or if they're calling anybody at all. But if they're unhappy with us here, I mean, how many times have we gone out on a Sunday morning or something like that because somebody squawked about an irrigation issue maybe going on or something like that? We're here.
Yeah.
24/7 we're here. And to me, if these guys know that, especially the resorts or anything like that, something happens on a Sunday morning, I can be there. The thing about concentrating on the maintenance, concentrating on providing a service that we do very, very well and that people recognize us for, and concentrating on that, to me, that's the main thing that he brings us and the one thing that we're probably going to take for this and go. And, we had considered that, we thought about it, because the construction part is hard, man. It's up and down and everything like that. And, we saw it. It's just hard to, you don't know if you're going to make a mistake by doing it. It helps big time to have somebody who's done it before come in and tell you, yeah, you're probably, that's the way to go. So,
See if you can convince him to let some of the project stuff go there.
I mean, he's been talking about that.
Yeah.
And like I said, and more so recently.
Yeah.
He's always wanted to go to the maintenance side.
Like I said, I think it's more, it's been here for so long. It's,
Yeah.
you know, I think it's more of a pride thing too.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But, you know, and he's good. I mean, the big projects are great. Like
Yeah.
backyard projects.
That's great, yeah. Well, even over the past like 5 years, really you fixed the company culture internally and like the company brand. If the next 5 years, like we actually fix the service mix, the financials, like that aspect, in 5 years of a business that is you could pass on and sell if needs be.
Right.
And that's what I'm not concerned, but like thinking about too, is like, okay, like there is a time where it's like you won't want to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You want to enjoy some of your life.
Yeah.
6 weeks after we went and visited Paul from Green Earth Landscaping, we called him up to see if he'd made the changes in the business and if he was able to turn things around. But before we catch up with Paul, let me tell you about 2 resources you can use to turn around your business. If you're struggling right now and you want me to come fly out to your business for 100% $0 free, go to mikeandys.com/turnaround. Now, if you need help today, the second resource I want to give you is mikeandys.com/course. It's an online course that's completely free that will walk you through the 13 principles you need to take your struggling business and make it profitable. Go to mikeandys.com/course and check it out today. Now let's check in with Paul and see if he was able to turn around the business.
Yeah, so we just got these in the other day, and these are brochures specifically dedicated to doing contract commercial maintenance and everything like that. So they didn't cost a lot of money. It was like $85 for 50 of them or something like that. So we're going to start doing that next week to give us a start of the year boost for the commercial maintenance business, which I get, is where we want to concentrate our efforts and where Mike said we should concentrate our efforts. I also think since you guys were here, we signed up 3 new contracts. And then today we got a call from Sunridge Hotel Group that we do the Marriotts for. They just got past the 60-day maintenance period on their new Hampton Inn in town. And so they've given us that account too. Yeah, so, just in the past 2 weeks, we've signed up 4 accounts and it's December. The person I consider to be my project manager or whatever, we've had a couple bad projects that just are not ending well at all. And so I've kind of removed her from that position or whatever, but also told her when I was doing it that, we think that this project thing that we've been basing, that a lot of her time was spent on, is going away anyway. Well, we want to hope to stay in touch. And like I said, it's just been a great experience and we really appreciate it.